I have to ask the question, and I don't really have my own answer. Who is the NBA MVP this year?
This year, and this is really hard for me, y'all. This is so hard because if you know me, I'm Nigerian American. You stumbled on the name, but I'm Nigerian American. Also from Houston, Texas. I'm even wearing my high school shirt, BFND. Shout out to Cypher High School, Cypress, Texas. It's coming down to a Rocket and a Nigerian, a Houstonian and a Nigerian. To me, the MVP is James Harden because over the course of the season, I think after last year's MVP debate, we put a lot of weight now, based on what LeBron did last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers, putting the whole team on his back. We put weight on truly the most valuable player on a team. But the unfortunate thing is Giannis Antetokounmpo, I feel like he's equally deserving of the award, which makes me think, along Rachel Nichols' line, that we should have a Most Outstanding Player award and an MVP award. I think James Harden would be Most Outstanding Player, and Giannis fully deserves to be MVP as well. I know a lot of people hate on James Harden's game, but that man took that team from in December being second worst in the West now to finishing probably third. He has done shouldered a lot of the load without Chris Paul, without Clint Capella, and he's done it with a top 10 scoring season in the history books. So I feel like James Harden deserves it based on our new standard of, most valuable player, not necessarily best player on the best team, but Giannis Antetokounmpo equally deserves it. I'm torn in my soul,
it really
in
does.
my spirit.
It is hard. It's really hard to make this decision this year. But the one thing I would say about Giannis, it was actually, since you remix the awards, I'm gonna remix the awards too. Let's have a defensive player of the year and an offensive player of the year. We can give that to James Harden. The thing about Giannis is if you watch the game last night, he changes the game on defense in a way that James Harden doesn't. And don't point to James Harden's steals. That doesn't mean defense. That's just steals. Because Giannis Antetokounmpo rim protects. He can guard all 5 positions. What he does on defense might edge him in front of James Harden in my book, but the way that Harden played with Chris Paul and Clint Capella out during that streak was just absolutely phenomenal. It's fun. It's fun to have this debate. I would rather it be like this than it's been the last few years.
I do agree. Giannis has been the most efficient player in the NBA pretty much on both ends, but I do think James Harden, the standard we go by is most valuable player. That's the award, and it's James Harden's to pretty much lose. But that 45-point game, it almost changed my mind. Like, it could potentially still change my mind.
And you remember when Giannis turned that ankle? We're like, oh, is Giannis going to shut it down? Like, he knew that he's part of this MVP race. He's like, no, I'm playing and I'm putting up 45 and I'm going to make it hard for people to decide who the MVP is. But the weird part is we won't find out for like 3 months. It'll be like fall by the time we even find out who the MVP is.
And it'll be interesting also if people, I wish voting time matters too, because if it was done right after the playoffs, maybe our thoughts would be different.
It is now time for News That Matters. Chiney, I know you rock with Adidas. You rock with Adidas like Run DMC rocks with Adidas. I see your Instagram. You always got the 3 stripes on. Well, guess what? There's some big news for Adidas. You now have a new colleague.
I got
Beyoncé
in my bag.
has signed a partnership with Adidas, and they're going to sort of like breathe some new life into the Ivy Park line that she has. I have to say that Beyoncé has only taken one L in her life, and that is the Ivy Park line. So we'll see if they can breathe new life into it with Adidas. But my question for you is this. Are you more proud to be working with Beyoncé or Jalen and Jacoby?
I am 100% more proud to be working with Beyoncé.
Oh, that's foul. Do you wear
I'm from
Ivy Park?
Houston. I'm a female.
Do you wear Ivy Park? Do you wear Ivy Park? Be honest.
I do not wear Ivy Park contractually because I'm a day one. Well, technically, not really day one because I signed with Nike at first, but I crossed over to Adidas 3-Stripe Life. This is a huge pickup for us, the lifestyle brand. So if anybody can revive the streetwear game, it's clearly Adidas 3-Stripe Life.
One quick question. Do you have Beyoncé on the text?
I do not have Beyoncé. I don't know who does. She doesn't. I don't even think she has a cell phone. Like, she doesn't need a cell phone.
She's like, I don't need to talk to anybody. I can.
But if she did, it'd be 281.
I can use mental telepathy. She is the best. Beyoncé is always a boss move.